So, hello there, Rikud here, and back again with another video on Enumerate All the Things. Today's service that we will be focusing on is HTTP and HTTPS. Probably both basically it works on something similar. So the tool focused video it is. So yeah, for both it will be the same. So the first tool that we will be focusing on is GoBuster. There might be a number of alternatives that you can use. So let's go and focus with the same. The GoBuster offers few or different arguments, or I can say different subcategories or commands which you can use in order to enumerate against your HTTP or HTTPS service. The first here is dir that we will be focusing on. Dir is something related to directory or file enumeration. If there is any hidden file, directories, or anything that is hidden related to directory or file, you can find it with this GoBuster dir command. The second is DNS that we will be focusing on later on, but what it does, so it checks the DNS it checks the DNS, query DNS, and finds the domain or subdomain, I can say, of the target domain. So that is it. Fuzz is something quite recent, which uses the fuzzing mode. It offers multiple different functionality, but that we will be not focusing on at all. The next here is vhost that we will be focusing on, because what is the vhost? It doesn't query your DNS. However, when your same application or same target offers two different paths or two different web application using the host header, that time this vhost is something that will going to helpful. So what it does, so it change or rotates that host entry or host header with the different or whatever the word list you provide. So let's start with the first, which is a dir, and get it practically done. GoBuster dir is something you can start off. It offers or it requires two specific keyword or two specific argument as must. The first one is URL and the second one is word list. It also offers multiple different arguments that you can give it a try and use. However, for this course, it is not something that is required, at least for now. So I'm not gonna include that at all. So let's go with the basic. It requires a URL, which I'll be providing with HTTP colon slash slash dollar target Linux. This is my target Linux IP address, of course, and word list it requires. So slash user share checklist. It requires something related to discovery. So discovery, it is web related, web content, and I'll go with, let's say, big.th. You can go with any other which you can find or which you feel that you can or you want to use. So it's totally up to you. uh, it requires that as an argument. So basically hyphen u is an argument, and it will have those values, and hyphen w is something for the same. Let's give it a try, and I got few output. The first here which displays is .html password, but the status code here is 403. I'll make a different video for different status code and what they mean exactly. Okay. There is a bash history which seems to be interesting, and it is something hidden. I wasn't aware yet, right? README file is there, Drupal file, Drupal page is there, PHP my admin is there. Those are the directories basically. 300 is something for redirection. 403 is something which you cannot access. Just keep it in mind right now. 403 is something that you cannot access. It's not privileged. 200 is something you can access and request. 300 will be redirected to someone somewhere. So Drupal slash Drupal will redirect to slash Drupal slash. Same way you can go with the HTTPS. And of course, this is the self-hosted certificate, so it will fail. However, there is another argument which you can give it a try or give it a use. So which is hyphen k and should be good. So with HTTPS, of course, it's the same website, nothing different. So it will gonna result the same or identical. Here we go. I have like almost all the whatever is required for this or for understanding the feature of GoBuster dir. Through the dir, I can find hidden directories, and that's it. Let's go with the different module that GoBuster offers, right? Then the next module here is DNS. Of course, my web application that is hosted locally has no DNS based resolution. So I'm not gonna focus on that, but just for understanding what I'm gonna do, GoBuster DNS, let's hit enter. It requires a domain, and for that, the domain flag is -d. And the next is word list, which is -w. This is the global one, right? So let's give it a try. I'll go with the tesla.com for now. And the word list that I'm gonna use is, let's say, /user share checklist discovery. This time instead HTTP, I'll go with the DNS because it's something I'm finding subdomain. And let's say jobs hyphen sub domains.txt and should be good. Also, GoBuster offers -t as a thread, which you can also give it a try to use. By default, it's a thread, 10 different threads. Basically, those are the workers. So parallelly 10 requests will gonna send at a time. So what I'm gonna do instead 10, I'll make it 100. So it will be quite faster. Let's give it a try. And here we go. It started scanning or asking the DNS server to find or revert, or I can say resolve subdomains of tesla.com. And I have like within few seconds, I have almost 7 to 8. Right. So this is something gonna take quite long. I'll not gonna wait for this to continue, but it makes sense. Whenever you find a DNS based service, you can add your resolver to that DNS and you can query. To add your DNS resolver, what you can change is /etc/resolve, not the responder, resolve.conf. So far. Right now, it is something or this is something redirected or configured for my router, which is 10.0.0.1, but you can change it to your DNS server. So what it will gonna do, it will use that specific resolver in order to ask or query the subdomain of the word list you provide against the destination domain or target domain, right? So also this offers this specific resolver as an argument. So instead modifying that, you can also give it a try to use this -r flag, and that makes like almost the same. You can specify server.com and with along with the port, so it will query directly towards the same, right? So yeah, that is all for this GoBuster DNS. GoBuster also offers other arguments or commands, right? Like vhost, that is something part of the scope for our learning perspective. There are other which you can give it a try 100%. Like you should give it a try to be more clear with the other options and arguments that are available. However, for the course, we will require just a dir, DNS, and vhost. So I'm gonna focus on vhost now. To understand vhost, what we're gonna do is we're gonna enable this proxy. We're gonna use this bob suite in order to understand that. So the command is pretty much simple: go buster vhost and whatever it requires. So what it requires is the URL and word list. However, I'm gonna add another argument, which is proxy. So this is something that you'll find useful when you want to debug something, your script and all. So yeah, that time proxy really helps, not just for GoBuster. It's I'm saying about the global. So yeah, let's give it a try. So GoBuster vhost -u for URL. For the URL, this time I'll be using different server, and that is already configured. So abc/host, and I added a different host entry, which is 10.0.0.15, and domain name is bwap.local. So let's give it a try. HTTPS, because it works on HTTPS, //bwap.local, -w for your word list, and I'll be using the current there is a direct word list created within the same directory, which I'm gonna use just to save our time, nothing much. -k for skip the SSL verification for this HTTPS or self-signed certificate, and yeah, should be good. Let's hit enter. So it successfully found another domain, which is linux.bwap.local. There was another one, which is bwap.local. The second is linux.bwap.local. We can verify manually by accessing those, and it is 100% different. So if you compare this bwap.local and linux.bwap.local, both are totally different. Let's see how in the backend it works. So if I say -k proxy for adding my HTTP proxy of Bob Suite, http:// it's a 127.0.0.1:8080, as simple as that, and let's hit enter. It worked again. However, all the logs or all the request has been logged here with the title. The first, when we access this bwap.local, title says Robinson Windows. The same title is even applied here, but the host entry is something different. It's a windows.bwap.local, and for Linux it's a linux.bwap.local. For the other, if you see, it's a uatsrv.bwap.local, and I get no response. Basically it is configured with the caddy. Caddy is a server or reverse proxy, and like kind of multi-featured reverse proxy or tool. So the third one here, test.bwap.local. The destination remains the same. It will be sent to bwap.local. However, the only difference, the host will gonna be always the same. However, host header will going to toggle. It will gonna send to test.com, then windows.com, then uatsrv.com. So these are, or those are just the host header values, not the server. It's not changing the server will gonna remain the same. All the request is being sent to one single server. You can verify by just sending it to repeater, and on the top right it says the target is bwap.local. However, host here is being toggled, like here instead of uatsrv it changes to windows, and when it sends it return Robinson Windows. The content length is 500. The second time if I do Linux and hit send, it works. The content length is 1059. So both are different application hosted on the same target or same web server. Hope that makes sense, and this vhost concept is pretty much clear. GoBuster is really great tool for finding multiple things all in a single hand. So give it a try. Try to explore and use some different possible features. So yeah, that is all for this GoBuster, or that is all planned for this GoBuster. We'll move to our next tool, which is nothing but Nikto. And using Nikto is pretty much simple. It offers, of course, multiple different arguments and a lots of things, but not all is really important, I would say. Only one single thing important is -h. you can add -h and your destination address. So for me, it's HTTPS bwab.local. I'm going with the same server. Or let's go with the Linux that we recently found, right? So linux.bwab.local should be good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's give it a try. Of course, this will not going to resolve unless and until I'll manually add it to my host list. So let me quick configure my host list here. Vim etc host. Oops. Anyway, here another subdomain and should be good. That's it. Enter. Should be running, and it discloses the different services and different information. Of course, this is pretty much secure because of reverse proxy and other things are in place. It says array and some weird output that we can assume, but yeah, of course, it is something that is gathered from, right? So if we still keep it running, it might gonna find some sensitive information like php myadmin is running and so on so forth, right? So Nikto is something you can parallelly try to find that low hanging bugs from your server, right? If you find that low hanging bugs, it is like easy pwn. So yeah, that's it. That's all planned for this topic or this video against enumerate all the things for HTTP and HTTPS. The only two tools we have focused. If there will be other tools that is required for basic enumeration, then we can include in the exploitation part. So that's it. That's all. Hope you learned something new and hope you enjoy. If you did, you know what to do, right? So that's it. That's all. See you next time.